Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. My name is Beth. Today we are going to set up my goals and things in my Sterling Ink Common Planner, which I'm now using as my bullet journal. Let's go ahead and get started. Last time we met about this particular planner, I was setting it up for 2024 and I was in a little bit of a cover quandary, so to speak, and I am still in one. This is my Galen leather cover that I have been using for the last half a year or so of 2023. This is currently what I have it back in. I have another Galen leather cover, this one that has more pockets and things, which I like, but everybody here in the South thinks that I'm carrying my Bible around in this, and so I stopped using it. And then we discussed whether I was going to move into an Archer and Olive cover that was coming in the December subscription box. And that cover arrived and it looks like this, and I do like the whole celestial vibe of it. It doesn't have any inside pockets. My big issue with it is that this magnet is not strong at all, and it just pops off all of the time. So not sure what I'm going to do with this cover, but it's just not enough to hold my journal for right now. We're going to do some goal setting in here today. Just to open this up, I do have it inside the Sterling Ink plastic cover, which does then, with some very careful maneuvering, fit inside this Galen leather cover. I have chosen not to tuck this side under here for now. Just trying to see if I like it that way. I don't have a lot of things in here, y'all. I have some stencils. I use this one almost daily. I have some little planner stickers. These come on a roll and a bunch of different colors, and I've just clipped some off to use for January. I've got this cover. We set this up last time. I still haven't put my name in here, and we are going to turn these goal setting. Oh, if you did watch my last video, you might know that I was struggling with my moon phases on this particular page. I did outline each one of them using a stencil to clean them up, and it worked great. If you have watched any of Catherine with Sterling Ink, her videos, she prints out her goal planning and sticks them in, and I decided that that was probably best for me in this instance. I'm going to do write a little bit larger, and I'm trying to get used to this journal. So I have got mine based on my elemental life areas, my domains, ready to go. I like and don't like this goal setup now that I've gotten to it. We have our life areas. We have someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. What I've discovered for me is that my monthly, weekly, daily totally hinge on what my quarterly goals are going to be, and there's not enough space to put quarter 1, monthly, weekly, daily, quarter 2, monthly, weekly, daily. You get the idea in this journal. So sometimes, like here, I say follow specific goals for each quarter. And then I've put in some monthly and weekly and daily things, but I'm definitely going to have to break this down further in probably my Notion system. It's probably where that's going to go until the day that I develop my elemental life into maybe a printable sort of thing that I can use myself. Maybe share with y'all, test it out on y'all. I have no idea. But we're going to go ahead and get these in here. Do have some scissors on hand so that we can clip them and make them fit. I did size them so that they'll fit in the box, but they do need to just be trimmed and put on here. I'm going to stick these off to the side, and we are going to start on grounding, which is my home and hearth domain. There are 2 things that I want to do for this year. I need to change my living situation. I live in an apartment. That's not the problem. It's just the fact that my apartment quality since I moved in here has declined, and it's a situation I want to move. I also need more space. I need a dedicated place for really Dots and Beyond. That's it. Currently, my office is a little corner in my bedroom. I don't have a lot of space. It was a little corner in my living area, and it worked great until I needed to buy a desk extension because I constantly have stuff everywhere. Someday we'll pan out and you'll get to see my whole desk setup. I work from home enough that I would also like to have a dedicated home office space. So just a home office, Dots and Beyond, I need another room. And so I'm looking at that right now. Long term, I'd like to buy a condo. That's what this someday is. In this year, by the end of the year, I want to start saving for a condo purchase in the next 5 to 10 years. And the reason I want to purchase a condo is because I hate yard work with every fiber of my being. A condo is the mix between apartment living and having to mow my lawn and rake leaves. We have lots of trees here in Arkansas. I've done that. I don't want to do it again. I guess I could hire someone to do yard work. I don't like to hire people to do things I could do if I want to anyway. It's a whole thing. Anyway, just looking at condos is what I'm doing. By the end of the year, I want to have my finances in a place where I can start saving for a condo. Probably won't start saving for that condo this year, but we'll get there. And then I want to create a green magical home. I do not have a green thumb. That one totally went in crooked. But what do I say around here all the time? That's fine. We're just going to leave it. In 1 year, I want to add a lot more green into my space. I really would like to start a patio garden. And then on the half year for the apartment condo, optimize and settle into a new living space, ensuring it meets the needs for Dots and Beyond. And then on my half year, I need to research and select plants that are suitable for where I live. My current apartment gets filtered western light because I have woods out the backside of my apartment, which is very nice for privacy, I must say. But it doesn't get a whole lot of light. I've killed a lot of plants that need full sun because I don't have full sun. So I need to do a little bit of research. And again, I don't have a green thumb. It's difficult for me. My mother can look at a plant and it will grow. I don't have that gift. And quarterly for the apartment condo, I put follow specific goals for each quarter. I have some of those broken out elsewhere. And then I put begin incorporating more plants into my home and initiate the patio garden. And then we're just going to keep going along here. Now I do have more goals in each life domain that are on the waiting list. One of the reasons that I do the elemental life domains is to limit myself to only working on 2 goals in each life domain at a time. And sometimes that gets broken down into just working on 1 goal at a time. In 2023, it really came down to just working on some health things that I needed to work on. That's okay. I put a lot of other things on back burner and just decided that they could wait, that I would deal with them when I had the time and the energy to work on more than 1 goal at a time. This one's a little long. I'm going to stick it on there anyway. Some of these I have gotten on there just super crooked. On my apartment condo situation, for daily, I have keep a well-organized living space to support your personal and professional endeavors. Something I need to do better at. I don't live in filth, but I tend to pile things. Come in and put the mail here. There's a mail pile. Weekly, plan and execute a move into a larger apartment with dedicated workspace for Dots and Beyond. You get the idea. Then this one's all about creating that magical garden situation. Monthly, incorporate mystical and plant-themed items like botanical arts and handmade plant holders. I go thrifting quite a lot, at least once a month, and so that's why I put that there, because thrift stores are a great place to find that kind of stuff. Weekly, develop a consistent care routine, water, rotate or move plants. Like I said, I'm not a great plant mom. I have a lot of philodendron around my home right now because it's hard to kill. And it pretty much tells you, excuse me, you need to water me before it dies so that you can catch it and reverse it pretty quickly. All right, moving on to my contributing. This is my career and creativity area. I have never set out to make Dots and Beyond a full-blown business. It was a creative outlet for me that I honestly have not done a whole lot of self-promotion on. I let it ride, and what comes, comes. Because of that, I haven't had huge subscriber growth or jumps, and that's okay, and I'm fine with that. I would like to get to the point where I could, at the very least, pay my rent creatively. I don't necessarily want to develop Dots and Beyond into a full-blown business. Now, if it started trending in that direction, I would probably try to ride the wave and see what I could do with it. But I want to make some changes in order to pay rent creative. One of those changes was the creation of a Patreon, which is linked down below if you want to go and check it out. I am extremely grateful for those first few of you who have jumped on that bandwagon and are coming along with me in that community, especially since I haven't been able to grow that community the last 3 to 4 weeks that I've been down with COVID. I don't know if you can tell if you've been watching my videos this month, My voice is way better today. And it is better to the point where I'm probably batch filming 3 or 4 videos in a row because I finally feel like I can. It has just been so difficult to even speak because of all the stuff that was still in my head and my chest from the sickness. And now I can start jumping back in and building that community that I wanted to build on Patreon and Discord, which I haven't even jumped over to Discord yet. I built it and I created it. I just haven't engaged over there yet because I haven't had the energy. And this week is my first week back with a good amount of energy. These are washi stickers. It's printable washi paper, and somebody asked about it after my last video. It is linked in the description box below. As printable sticker paper goes, it's on the pricier side, so I try not to waste it, although it does make it pretty easy to smooth out wrinkles when you get one. And it will, I have discovered, pull up. If I haven't put it down too tight, I can pull it up a little and get it up off. Back to the Patreon and the Discord. It is currently the Saturday before Christmas. I'm trying to get some of these videos that I wanted done before the end of the year done, so I can at least schedule them early in the year since I didn't get them up for any kind of plan mess. I had to scrap my plan mess plans because of being sick, and that's okay. You gotta learn to roll punches and pivot and change what you can change when you can change it. And so some of my plan miss content is getting moved into 2024. Not ideal, but it's okay. My career and creativity goals, like I said, the one that I want to do is pay rent creatively. And that is probably going to break down into researching how to do that. My 1-year goal is to reach a steady creator income of $1,500 a month. That's over my rent actually, but not by much. And then increase monthly income to at least $750 in 6 months. Quarterly research and explore both best content and additional revenue avenues, sponsorships, other affiliates. I have 2 affiliates right now, or technically 3. I am an Amazon affiliate, but I don't have an Amazon storefront because I'm still really conflicted about the whole Amazon thing, to be honest. Archer and Olive, because I still love their journals. My reading journal is an Archer and Olive journal. I love their company values. I love their focus on mental health, which is very important to me. So I'm very picky about the relationships that I enter into when I am an affiliate. The other one is Kiss Nails. I don't like to go get my nails done. I stopped going to get my nails done probably 9 months before COVID hit. Even before everybody else started trying to do their nails at home, I was already doing my nails. These I have put on for the winter Christmassy situation. These are actually limited edition Marilyn Monroe. I do not know if they are still available, but I will put a link to Kiss Nails down below. I have tried much cheaper nails off of Amazon. I have tried different nail glues, and Kiss is where it's at for me, people, and therefore I'm a Kiss affiliate as well. I don't talk about it all that often. Probably need to start talking about it more, but I want to look into other affiliates as well. Like I'm using more of Notebook Therapy this year, so I've reached out to Notebook Therapy. Set income targets for each month, gradually increasing. I need to experiment. I need to make sure I'm keeping planned and scheduled content and dedicate specific time every day for creating, editing, and uploading. It takes a while. I edit my own videos. I'm not an editor. At some point, would I like to increase the cinematic quality of my videos? Maybe. I film with my phone. That's my budget. I have some lights, I have a microphone, and I film with my phone. And unless I'm generating enough income to support the purchase of other things, I'm just not going to do it. The next one's a big one, and it's a possible career pivot. I'm getting mildly weary of the event industry and the way that it has developed post-pandemic. So I haven't made any solid decisions yet. The logical choice to do that would be to pivot from event management to project management, because event managers are project managers. We just herd cats on top of it. But I would need a PMP certification. These are goals specific to earning that PMP certification over the course of this year so that I have it. The someday goal is a career pivot, because I'm not sure that I really want to do it. PMP certification is not going to hurt me. It could do nothing but help me. And then I have it if I decide that I do want to pivot out of the event industry. Connecting is my relationships domain. A big one here is to be available for a relationship, because I have consciously chosen to not date since my divorce, which was 16 years ago. I know, everybody just gasped. Everybody just went, what? For a multitude of reasons. First of all, when I got divorced, I was living in a very small town here in Arkansas, and there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word redneck. And yet, let's just say that Arkansas is also a very, very, very conservative state, especially out in the country. And those are in the small towns, and those are just not my people. I also had my boys, and yes, they're grown now, but they weren't then. And so I was raising 2 boys. And then when they got to a certain age, I felt comfortable going back to school because they could help around the house. They could make easy meals like hamburger helper or that sort of thing. That's when I went back to school and finally got my Bachelor of Arts degree in English, which was a good move for me. In fact, it was a great move for me. I would say now, 10 years removed, you don't have to have a degree to have a good job. You just have to know where to look. If you are one of those individuals who wants to better your life, I would start with Google certifications. There are some free ones. There are some very economical ones that are much cheaper than paying for university. You can get some really great jobs once you get some of those certifications, including things like IT security. Explore those. Go look at those and see certifications you might be able to get at a much lower cost than university, if that is something that you are looking. Back to my goals. Being available for a relationship. Does that mean that I'm actively looking for one? No. But if somebody were to come along, I'm not going to actively turn away from it either, which I've been doing for 16 years. But what I do need to do is be available, which means making myself available, which means doing more than work and home, right? Establish a foundation for new connections, attending social gatherings and events. I have some quarterly goals set down to try to explore new circles, from book clubs to writing groups. Attend one social event or gathering each month outside of work. One of the fun things that we have in this town, we have a distillery called Rocktown Distillery for Little Rock. They make spirits, obviously, and they have cocktail classes every month. I'm thinking I'll probably do at least 1 or 2 of the Rocktown cocktail classes. Working social activities into my daily routine and fostering a habit of engaging with others on a daily basis. I work in a very large organization. Odds are, if I'm going to meet someone, it's probably going to happen at work, but I have to leave my office for that. When I get in the groove and I get busy, that's just what I do. And the other one is strengthen friendships. So I am just now in my late 40s developing friendships with a set of girlfriends. I've always been terrible at female friendships. All of my friends when I was a kid were boys. I was a tomboy. I hung out with boys. I think like a guy. I now am building some relationships with some women who have some of those same characteristics. It's pretty great. And this is all about making sure that I am fostering those relationships. One of those women is who I traveled to Denver with recently when I went to Denver. And she's very no nonsense. And that's why we like one another, I think. I just want to make an effort to be strengthening those friendships and not to take them for granted now that I have them. Moving on to aqua, water, my thriving domain. This is my health and wellness domain. Over the course of 2023, I have been doing a dental plan. So I have soft teeth. There have been periods in my life as somebody who lives with bipolar disorder where I did not necessarily take good care of myself, because there were days that I couldn't get out of bed. The older you get, it takes a toll. So I've been doing a dental plan. It's been expensive. It's one of those things that I just determined this year that I was going to do that for me. So I need to finish it. I'm really close. The dental plan on the top line. One of my goals, like my monthly goal, is to reduce frivolous spending to expedite completion of the dental plan, which I've got to balance out with things like strengthening or being available for a relationship and going to social activities, right? Because that's going to cost some money, and yet I need some of that money for my dental plan. So you just got to figure out how to balance those things out and which ones are important to you. What's probably going to happen is that I'm not go out a whole lot and maybe January or February expedite the dental plan, get it done and be finished with it, and move on to cultivate mindness around oral health and dampening feelings of shame. I really had a lot of shame around my oral health, which I shouldn't have because it's definitely tied to my bipolar illness. My second future someday goal, reach a healthy weight with grace and positivity. Another one of those side effects of the bipolar medication I've been taking for 28 years is weight gain. I want to, in 1 year, work toward a healthy weight with a realistic target of losing 50 pounds. That's a big goal. I might not make it, especially since it takes a quite literal act of the universe and the powers that be for me to lose a single pound, let alone 50. This is another one of those ones that doesn't break out as well as I would like, so I need an alternate space to break down these things. Oh, I need to fix that. I didn't put in a monthly goal, and I repeated my dental goal because I copied and pasted. So we're going to have to fix this. I don't have time to fix it now. I'll figure that out later. Foster healthy eating habits, taking short breaks during the day for gentle stretches, movement, or mindfulness, or even just to get away from my desk. This is one of those things my therapist has been trying to get me to do for a year, and I'm so bad at it. I've got to get up and leave my desk and get some steps in. It's just one of those things that I've got to do. And it'll make me more productive in the long run. Let's be realistic. Okay, discovering is my spiritual domain, and it is soul and senses. Anything and everything that has to do with my spirit. The someday goal here is for me to return home to Kenya because it's been so many years since I have been back there. I had hoped to do that in late 2024. I think we're going to bump it to 2025. The same friend that went to Denver with me wants to come to Kenya with me, and we're trying to drum up a group of probably 6 of us. Safari vehicles, the smaller ones, can comfortably hold 6 or even 8. We're trying to keep the group small and manageable. Once you get on the ground in Kenya, it's really not as expensive as one might think, but the flight from where I am to there is going to be pricey, no matter which way you shake it. I could fly from here to Atlanta to South Africa and then up to Nairobi. I could fly to Dallas and then take British Air to England and then to Nairobi. A lot of people fly through Dubai now when they're going to East Africa, and it's an expensive flight, even when you're looking for it to catch it on sale. So we need to save up a little bit more for that because it's a big undertaking. And we've moved that to 2025, but we still planned to do it. The minute I finish my dental plan, anything I was spending on my dental plan is going to pivot to my travel budget so that I can make this big trip. And then hopefully I will have set for myself some sort of regular saving habit specifically for travel so that I can start taking additional trips, because adventure is one of my core values. It is my core value for the spirit domain. I grew up traveling. My dad believed in exposing us to as much culture as he could. He had been in the Navy before he did mission work. I've mentioned this before. I don't necessarily subscribe to all of the reasons that my parents were in Kenya, but I would not give up my childhood upbringing for anything. He wanted us to see the world. That's one of those things that, for obvious reasons, when I was raising 2 children and trying to go to school, I wasn't doing any traveling. Plan and save for a 14 to 18 day trip to Kenya with a minimum budget of $5,000. That's not going to cover the whole thing. That's really geared more towards the flight. Again, follow specific goals for each quarter because I got to break them down somewhere else. Identify potential companions for the journey, engage their interest, maintain financial discipline, and refine travel plans. Then I want to incorporate elements of Kenya back into my life and build a daily Swahili refresher practice because my Swahili was never good to begin with, even though I lived there for the entirety of my childhood. I had very bastardized Swahili. I could get my point across, but it probably didn't sound very good. I want to do some Duolingo or something and brush up on my Swahili skills before we go. My last someday goal is to develop and expand ELOS, and ELOS is my elemental life operating system. This is the beginning of ELOS. I want to transform my personal ELOS into a system with the potential for public use. So over the course of this year, I have broken down some goals that are specific to that particular goal. If you're interested in being a part of that, if you're interested in having some discussion around it, my Patreon is the place to be. As the elemental tier, that's where we're going to talk about those things. That's where I'm going to gauge, is this a good idea? Is this interesting to the public? What would that planner system look like if we developed a whole planner system around ELOS? So there's that. I've just put it out into the world. Now y'all have to hold me accountable to it. Okay, one other thing that we are going to do when we're in the middle of this goal situation is that the Sterling Ink Common Planner comes with a monthly setup for December 2023. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with this. I've decided I'm going to make it a 24 in 24 spread. Just 24 things I want to do in 2024. They don't have to be anything extraordinary. Some of them are self-care. Some of them have to do with work or not work. But we're just going to transform this December spread because the next video in this journal is going to be me setting up January. So this is the January monthly. But we're going to add this to the goal section because it is 24 in 2024. I am only going to use the first 24 boxes. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put this here or if I'm going to put this here. I think I'll stick it there. I designed these to match everything that I had here. I still have some of the things that you can see we cut out of these sheets to decorate these pages. I also printed myself another page of just the florals. The other thing that I have purchased for myself is a pencil board. This is a Hobonichi pencil board because we've got the floral theme going with our 10,000 doors. I thought, well, this one's got an orchid on it. So that just works great for me. It'll show up more when I'm doing my daily planning. We're going to go ahead and get 24 in 2024 in here. And if you've made it this far, let me know down in the comments if you have a list of things you want to do in 2024. That's all kind of bubbly. That's fine. We're just going to smooth that out. Did you do a long list like Jess at Jessie Corinne does? She does 100 and something. I tried that. It didn't work for me. I liked the idea. I tried it and then I bailed on it in 2023. I did some of the things. I might have even done 23 of the things in 2023. I don't know for sure. We're going to stick some of these in and then we'll decorate the rest of the page. These are just simple little things to do. That says try somatic exercises for stress and trauma, and then I assigned it to one of my life domains, and that one is aqua. I wanted to make sure that I was still sticking with my life domains. I didn't want to randomly pick things that are gonna work together. Terra, build a DIY terrarium that goes along with my green witchy space that I want to build. Air, again, air is creativity and career, and I put collaborate on a podcast. This is Aether, which is spirit, which is take a mindfulness hike. Not just any old hike, but a hike where I am really focusing on being mindful about my life. I host a movie night. I put that under home and hearth. It could also have gone under fire for relationships. I'd like to get to the point where I'm having people into my home and we're having a good time doing things. Explore mindful eating techniques that goes along with my wellness. So that is aqua. Probably need to cut these out separately because if I stacked all 3 pages and cut them together, I would probably end up cutting off some wording or something that would be my luck, right? And as we go through the rest of the year, like when I do my January setup, I will have a January downloadable monthly kit, but I'm not doing any of this typing for my setup. I will switch over to a pen, start writing in what I need to do. I just kind of want these to go in here at random intervals. I don't want like all of the earth together. So here's that take a cocktail class at Rocktown, which I put that in my spirit category. Many of these things can fit into other categories. Design a home altar. That's home and hearth. Volunteer for a cause. That one in fire for relationships because it's a place that I would meet people. And that's also fire. Let's do this one. Host a game night. On the same vein as hosting a movie night, having people over. We have an obscene number of board games in our house. We purged a lot of them the last time we moved because my boys are grown predominantly. kid-related games or leaned kid-related games. We did get rid of some for the sake of space and storage, but I still have so many board games. That one's attend a local festival, which is fire. This one is take a photography walk. So specifically take a walk with the intent to take pictures of things and appreciate them on your walk. I used to do that a lot when I was a teenager in Kenya. I would just walk and take pictures of things, flowers, whatever was there. Try a sensory deprivation experience. Y'all are gonna have to tell me if any of y'all have done the sensory deprivation tanks, because I have not. I just kind of want to see what that would be like. And I put that on spirit because I think that would definitely be a spirit related activity. Attend a meditation workshop, find an in-person book club. I haven't done this yet because I'm such a mood reader. I think y'all know, those who follow my reading journal, I will pick up a book and then put it down if it's not jiving with me. Not DNF it, I might want to finish it later, but if something else strikes my fancy, I will pivot on a book real quick. I want to make sure when I get down here to the end, I'm not putting all the same domain next to one another. So how many of what do I have? 1, 2, 3 terras, 2 aether, 2 air, and an aqua. Plan a creative retreat day. This is probably going to fall mid-year so that I can plan miss for 2024 and hope I don't get sick. This is so unfortunate. Visit a local plant nursery. Goes along with my whole plant situation. Explore a local park. Arkansas is the natural state. It is called that for a reason. Not only do we have one of the best state park systems in the country, here in Little Rock we have some pretty great city parks. I haven't been to most of them, so explore a local park is on my list. Unfortunately, we had a tornado back in April. Viewers who have been with me since then will remember that situation. That tornado beelined through 3 or 4 different city parks and just completely destroyed the parks. Took down all the trees that are hundreds of years old kind of situation. Our parks took a hit. I don't know how that tornado managed to aim itself as it diagonally cut through Little Rock right at the park system, but it did. Join a writing workshop. Our local library has a number of resources for writers, and I sat in on a memoir class one time. Of course, they're always in the middle of the day, so it's like, can I get away from my work day in order to attend this thing? I really enjoyed it. I was by far the youngest person in that class, even though it was virtual, which was interesting. Apparently, everybody else expects to be 80 to be writing their memoir. I have Explore a Local Park twice. Guys, I'm gonna have to print another one for our 24th. It's real life. Mistakes happen. Create a cozy reading nook. I have a chair in my bedroom right now, but I've already mentioned that my bedroom's crowded because my desk and everything is in here. Hopefully that's something that we can do again when I am moving. Treat myself to a spa day, which is under wellness. I'm gonna have to come up with something else to replace this one so that we don't have a duplicate. I'm just glad I caught it before I stuck it down. We had space down here. So I have 2 more of my quotes from 10,000 Doors of January. Again, that is our theme for 2024. Here is my copy of the book, 10,000 Doors of January. I have 2 of these. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them. This one says, my long years of research have taught me that all stories, even the meanest folktales, matter. They are artifacts and palimpsests, riddles, and histories. They are the red threads that we may follow out of the labyrinth. And I'm just going to stick that somewhere down here. Then we'll add some more decoration to the page. What do we think about my 24 in 24? Have you ever taken a cocktail class? Have you ever experienced a deprivation tank? My cousin has done it. I'm curious because I am not good at silence. If you are also not good at silence, then no. If I am cleaning around my house, I will have on music or a movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Lord of the Rings all the way through, all 3 movies, because it's my background music sometimes. my background survival music or distraction music. Part of that comes along with my bipolar disorder. Part of that is just not wanting to listen to the voices in my head. And I shouldn't laugh about it, but I mean, it's true. That's exactly what it is. I have another one of these that's designed to go right on the edge. So I think I'm gonna trim it out. Do you live in a place where you can do things, a mindfulness hike, and go out into nature and just be quiet? That's another one of those things I'm terrified to do. That mindfulness hike is meant to be done without distraction. No earbuds. There's me in the nature out there where I have nothing to do but think. Have you done anything like that? Do you regularly do things like that? I have a friend from high school and all his pictures on social media are outdoors. And I mean like outdoors. Like he's sleeping in the back of his SUV outdoors. He's in the desert one day and the mountains the next. And I'm like, dude, I am so glad you are so comfortable in your own mind that you can do that. Just completely cut the cord, get away from the electronics, and go rogue. That's how I think about it. I was much better at it in Africa. I don't know what that correlation is. I could do it as a kid. I'm partially going to cover up that 12 so it doesn't scream, this is December. Or do I want to put some washi tape up there? Stand by. So this won't fully cover it up, but I've had this forever. It might not even stick. This is a transparent gold washi tape. These are flowers. So at least we have the floral connection. I'm going to bring it all the way across like that. I don't hate it. I guess there's that. There's a lot of space here at the bottom. There's just so much space here at the bottom. I think I am going to add a tracker down here. Just a little bubble for if I complete any of the domains. And my plan when I do one is to highlight it or cross off the number because it's the one area that doesn't have any of the washi tape on it. Use a dot marker, any of those things. But let's create a bubble. I use this stencil all the time. First of all, it is the shape of an iPhone. If you wanted to trace around it and then do this and then this little circle and then these little lines, you would get the screen of an iPhone, which I think is cute. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got your social media things in here. It's got word bubbles. I use this tiny circle right here a lot, and that's the one that I am going to use. This is my Sharpie S Gel, my everyday pen. I have not made the decision that because I'm moving into a planner with Tomoe River paper that I want to jump into fountain pens. I have a singular fountain pen. It is a training wheels fountain pen. I might use it in my dream journal, which that setup is still to come. We will have to wait and see. All right, there are 5 bubbles. Turn the book so I can write. I'm going to write the English words. Earth is Terra. I know what they are. So earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. If I complete one of them, I'll just fill that in. That just gives us a little tracker. Trying to find places to fill in space. I am learning. First of all, the paper is new to me. Not used to the paper. Secondly, the grid is new to me. I am adapted to, at this point, a 5mm dot grid and not the teeny tiny square grid. I'm liking it this far though, I think. The paper is still to be determined. I don't know how I feel about the paper. It's just one of those things to figure out. I'm gonna get one of my gold keys, like here. I used a gold key sticker. I ordered gold keys off of Temu several months ago. Here they are mixed in with some florals. After I got them, I thought, Beth, what are you ever going to do with these gold keys? So here again is the book cover for 10,000 Doors of January, which is our theme. Look at all these keys that are part of this whole aesthetic. These florals are going to be included in the monthly kits in various different ways. You'll have to wait until I set up January and see if you want to get that monthly kit once it's set up. January did pose a design problem because of a decision that I made, but it'll be rectified in subsequent months. We're going to stick that key there and then stick at least one floral over top of it. You can see I've worked my way around this thing completely. Let's do this. Let's just take off that whole side. If you missed my annual setup These florals are available for download on my Patreon. You do not have to be a member to buy them. There is a storefront on my Patreon that you can go and visit and pick these up if you really like them and want to use them in something that you're doing for yourself without having to become a member. Because we're not all membership people, are we? That is one way that you could support my desire to return home to Kenya, is to buy something off of my Patreon in the digital download realm. I don't know why I want to stick that right there. I can pretty safely say that I would never do physical products. I just don't think that's a thing that I ever want to do. All right, I am, now that I have got that done, going to put some of that washi tape across the bottom. I just think it's going to help us stay cohesive from top to bottom. Got a little crooked, but that's okay. Okay, that is that. I will probably, now that I'm sitting here looking at this, use my gold shuttle art dot marker. This is not a Zig clean color dot marker. It's a shuttle art. They came off Amazon because they had 2 metallics and I wanted them. I will probably use the gold. It looks like that. It's pretty darn metallic when you use it. And I will probably use that to mark off my numbers when I have done these 24 in 24. There is my 24 in 24, as well as our goal setting. Again, needs a little bit more breaking down in a goal system that's more detailed than this, because that's how goals work. I've started sketching out some things on my quarterly planning. I think I have finally figured out what I want to do with that. We're going to set up our quarter when I set up for January, which is going to be our next video in here, and we'll get the January kit launched as well. That video is probably coming a day or two behind this one because I want to make sure that if you want to get that kit and use it in January, you can. But I have also designed it that you could download it and use bits and pieces of it nowhere near January if you wanted to do that. That is our goal setting in our Sterling Ink Common Planner for 2024. If you like this video, you know what to do. You got to give me a big thumbs up, because it is that thumbs up and it is the viewership that matters more than our subscriber count. But I'd love to have you join the family, so subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.